Greetings, people. It's Mr. Pull the Trigger yet again on another episode of the Enlightenment series. Let me take a sip of some green tea because this episode is quite interesting. So, what are the chances that we misunderstood Mr. Jeremiah Omoto Fofeng? What are the chances that the prophecy, the statement, or the confession that he made on the 26th of March about a child that has been missing coming out? What are the chances that we misunderstood what he said?
If this baby comes out, what will you do? What will you do? I will rededicate myself to God.
Did we quite interpret his utterances correctly, or did we manipulate what Mr. Omoto Fofeng said in our favor, just so that we can find ways to nail him on the cross? Do we have this urge to disgrace Mr. Omoto Fofeng or to fight Mr. Omoto Fofeng by finding fault in everything he says or in everything he does? This is quite an interesting, discussion that I want to engage with you people, because I received a voice recording from one of Jeremiah Omoto's diehard. If I say diehard, is an understatement. Someone who will take the bullet for Omoto Fofeng. Someone who will do anything. Someone who will take his own life for Omoto Fofeng, the same way I'll take my own life for baby testimony. So in his message, he said that Mr. Prof, you clearly do not understand English. Your grammar is offside. You are literally an illiterate when it comes to literature. Because Mr. Omoto Fofeng did not give a prophecy that baby testimony is going to come out. Mr. Omoto Fofeng did not mean what you are alluding. There's something wrong with your English. You have to go back to school so that you can be taught what English words mean, so that you can be a good analyzer of people's statements. So before we get deeper into this, or before we discuss or analyze, or before we correct ourselves if we are wrong, I want you to listen to what he said. I want you to listen to the justification that he gave to the prophecy or the statement that Jeremiah Omoto gave, in which he was saying, what will you do if this baby comes out? What will you do? You, my Zoom people, what will you do? Are you ready to celebrate? If this baby that has been missing comes out from anywhere, what will you do? The enemies, I have set a hoo-ha amongst the enemies. I have caused confusion amongst the enemies. The people that brought this calamity. Okay, let me not get carried away. let me not get carried away, because it's funny that I have now mastered everything that he said in that prophecy. I can now literally just say word to word everything he said in that prophecy on the 26th of March, when he said, what will you do if this baby comes out? Are you ready to celebrate? How can you accuse a man like this? How can you accuse a man like this? The enemies. Okay. Listen to what this person said about that prophecy. What he is claiming. Check it out.
Good morning, Prof. X. People are laughing at you. Sometimes I'm still repeating the same thing, that English grammar is difficult for you. We are just sitting down here watching your video. You still repeating the same word here. You say, Jeremiah gave a prophecy about the baby coming out. It was not a prophecy. It was not a prophecy given. He was just making a statement. Do you know the difference between prophecy and statement? Go back to school, Prof. X. The difference between prophecy and statement. He was making a statement. That what many people does not understand you very well, whether you speak good English grammatically. Omoto said, if this baby come out from anywhere, he does not prophesy. And still making the same statement again, saying that he prophesied. No. Omoto didn't prophesy. Go back to the video. To go back to the video again and listen very carefully. If you really speak good English, grammar English, go back to the video again. You repeat it and listen very carefully again. Because I think you need to go back to school. English grammar is difficult for you. Omoto didn't give prophecy. And he just make a video saying that he gave a prophecy about the baby. No, he was making a statement that if this baby come out from anywhere, what will you do? So if the baby does not come out or something happen, it does not mean that he gave a prophecy. It was a statement. They call it statement. Go into dictionary and look inside dictionary the meaning of if, so it can be defined to you. The definition word of if. Go and define it right now. It was not a prophecy given by Jeremiah. Go, he are showing that video to people that he gave a prophecy. A lot of people understood the English very well. It was not a prophecy given. It was a statement. Repeat that word again. If this baby come out from anywhere, what will you do? That's what Jeremiah Omoto Fofo said. Play the video 1,000 times. People will still understand the English. People already understood the English that Jeremiah spoke to the world. If he played that video, there is no proof that Jeremiah gave prophecy. No, he was making a statement. If this baby come out from anywhere, what will you do? That's what he said. So go back to school, Prof X. You need deliverance. You are very sick. You are sick very well. You need deliverance, Prof X. You need to go back to school to learn more English grammar. When people are speaking English, follow the English grammar well. Then you will understand people well. That is your major problem, speaking English. Even Brekete said it, that you don't speak good English. Brekete, he have that video he released against you, that you don't understand good English. You need to go back to school. So be careful the way you talk. A lot of people follow you because they try to laugh at you because your English grammar is not grammatically good. So you need to go back to school. You want to become a blogger or YouTuber, go back to school to learn more English grammar, Prof X. That is your major problem right now. You think that you can bring Omoto down. No, you cannot bring Omoto down. Look at his church. Every day and night, a church is growing. People are traveling from US, from European country, 5 continents of the world. People are traveling, taking flight to come down Mercy City in his church. Look at the population now in his church before and now. Look at the differences. He thought that when you bring this matter, you will bring Omoto down. No, you are making him more popular. You are bringing him more members, not people that live in Africa, or people who living abroad. The 5 continents, people are traveling to come there for miracles, signs and wonder. People who don't know Jeremiah said they are coming now. They are coming now, taking flight to come there for signs and wonder. So you are making him more popular, bringing him more members. People who don't know him, they are coming left and right. People going, they are testifying, they are giving a lot of testimony what happening there. Look at your church. Go inside now, you see the population right now in your church that coming, people coming from abroad. So you are just making a mistake. He can never bring Jeremiah down because of that video he said he gave a prophecy. No, it was a statement, not prophecy. Okay, go back to school. That is more important for you to learn more what they call English grammar. Thank you.
So what this brother is alluding, what this brother is saying is we misunderstood what Jeremiah said. This brother is saying that was not a prophecy. This brother is saying that was a statement. It was just a statement. Omoto Fofane was not prophesying about the coming back of baby testimony. Omoto Fofane was just giving a statement that what if this baby comes out? He's trying, or he is distancing Omoto from taking liability from words that came out of his own mouth. He even said, I've sinned in the spirit. I know what I've seen. I know what I've seen. This baby that been missing. What will you do if it comes out? Are you ready to celebrate? So this brother is saying, oh, that was a statement. It was just a bold statement to say what if. But what I want to understand is, what about that part when he said, it will not take 4 days, this case will be a bygone. It will not take 4 days before this baby comes out because I've seen in the spirit. I'm the true prophet of God. Was that still a statement? Some might have forgotten, or maybe some of you might have forgotten the actual words that came out from Jeremiah Omoto's mouth. So for clarity's purpose, so that we can be balanced in our analysis, let's revisit what Mr. Jeremiah Omoto said, so that we can have a balanced judgment, so that we can analyze and critique word by word, phrase by phrase, of what Mr. Omoto might have meant to say, of what Mr. Omoto actually said. or what we think he said or what we think he meant. So it's important that we pay attention to everything that he said in that prophecy or statement or confession. So check it out.
Who is the prophet? Okay, if I want to ask somebody now, if this baby comes out, what will you do? What will you do?
I will rededicate myself to God.
You rededicate.
I will rededicate myself.
What about you? If this baby, now the enemies, the Lord said, He said the baby, He has set confusion among the people that who caused this calamity.
Jesus.
That is the God.
That evil plan. He said He want to now bring up. You're going to put them to shame. What will you do? What will you that watching me? What will you do? What will you do to God? But I'm telling you.
A feast of thanksgiving.
Hey, listen, take this my word. Even 1 second to this month to round up. This baby that missing, you hear good news.
Amen.
Even 1 second to this month. I am what I have seen in the realm of the spirit. I'm seeing. How can you accuse the person like this? I always remember only one man. I said, this man is a strong man, he's a hero. Senior Prophet TB Joshua. The enemies. You will hear the story. If I be a prophet, I told you. Oh my God. If this thing will happen, if this is manifested, what will the world will say? And what the world will do? But you, that person who are following me, are you ready to dance and celebrate with me? Zoom people, if the baby come out or from anywhere, are you ready to celebrate with me? That accusation.
So I want you to tell me something. Maybe this brother, I mean the first brother, the initial brother who came out to say what Omoto said was not a statement. It was not a prophecy, it was a statement. That's why he said what if. Maybe let's also try to educate ourselves so that we can understand what we are trying to debate about, so that we can have a proper enlightenment of what all this means in context. Let's first look up the word statement. What does a statement mean? What does it mean to make a statement? What does the word statement mean? So that we can also enlighten this brother that there is actually no way out, or there's no any justification that can be given to try to water down what Omoto said, or to try to rephrase or to give a different meaning to what Mr. Omoto alluded in what we are calling a prophecy. The reason why we called that a prophecy is because Omoto Fofeng said he saw in the spirit. But before we get to that, let's look at what does a statement mean. According to the Oxford Dictionary, the definition of a statement reads, a definite or clear expression of something in speech or writing. Listen again, what does a statement mean? A definite or clear expression of something in speech or in writing. A clear expression of something in speech or in writing. So even if that was a statement, that was a clear expression of what he was alluding to in speech. It was a definite and a clear expression of what he was alluding to in speech. And what was he alluding to? That baby testimony will be found in less than 4 days. That's what he was alluding to. Not only that, he even went on to say he saw in the spirit. He saw in the spirit that the enemies are going to be in a maze of confusion. He saw in the spirit that there will be celebration because the actual baby will come out before the month ends. He saw in the spirit that this case will be a bygone before the end of March. The reason why we classify it as a prophecy, not just a mere statement, is because of him inclining the statement that he gave to something spiritual. He inclined the statement that he gave in a spiritual context. That this is something that is not out of the ordinary. This statement, it had to be backed up by what he saw in the spirit. He did not give this statement out of the blue. Before he gave this statement, he had to consult some realms, some superpower in the realms of the spirit, so that he can have the confidence to make this statement. So the question I want to throw to my brother is, where did he get the statement that he gave? He extracted it from the realms of the spirit, according to Jeremiah Omoto himself. He gave this statement after he saw something in the spirit. And what he saw in the spirit was within 4 days, baby testimony will be found. So that is our justification to the prophets. And what do you call things that you see in the spirit in the context of our religion, in the context of Christianity? Everything you see in the spirit and then you tell it to people, it's a prophecy. Anything you claim to have seen in the spirit and then you bring it to the public and then you foretell what's going to happen, we call that a prophecy. So that's why we are calling this a prophecy. Me, I call it a confession. Because I am of the belief that these people cannot see anything. These people cannot see anything in the spirit. That's why I call it a confession. I don't believe in prophecy or prophecies that are given by Nigerian prophets. There are no prophecies. There's nothing that Nigerian prophets can see in the spirit. That's why I call it a confession. He was just trying to package what he wanted to say in the form of a prophecy or a statement. But what he was actually doing was confessing. Because at that time, Jeremiah Omoto had reached a point whereby he was willing to comply with our demands. And our demands was release the CCTV footage or release baby testimony. At this stage, on the 26th of March, Jeremiah Omoto had had enough. He had reached this breaking point. If it wasn't for the people that went on, the spiritual people that went on to advise him against doing the right thing, by now we could have forgotten about Jeremiah Omoto, because he could have done what he was supposed to do, to bring out baby testimony within 4 days. But because Jeremiah Omoto listens to people too much, he listened to the wrong people, and they gave him wrong advice. The advice they gave him was, do not release or do not do the needful, do not do the right thing. And he chose to take the advice. And we are still where we are today because he took advice from the wrong people. Had Jeremiah Omoto just danced to the tune and do what he was supposed to do in those 4 days between 26th and the 30th, by now we could be talking about other issues, about other charlatans. Because I promised Mercy City, I promised Omoto for Fame himself, that if this baby comes out through your means, I will never mention you again. I will never call you out again. Even if there can be another case of whatever that you do, I will never call you out again. That was my word to Omoto for Fame, and I always keep my word. But he chose not to, because he thought this case was going to be a bygone. He probably thought we were going to get tired. Do I look like the type that gets tired? Do I look like the type that starts something and doesn't finish it? Maybe Jeremiah did not read my resume. Maybe he did not read my curriculum vitae. If he had been advised by these very same people that advised him not to do the right thing, if he had been advised about Mr. PDT and how he operates and his resilience and commitment to whatever he starts, he could have not have taken the chance of not releasing the child. But because the people that advised him, they did not care about him. They actually want him to be under this heat, under this fire. They did not tell him about the men that he's dealing with. I'm not the type that lets anything go. I don't start and don't finish what I start. I always finish what I start. And I'm willing to die for what I believe. I'm willing to die for what I begin. If you put me on a treadmill with anyone and then you say, we want to see who get off the treadmill first, believe you me, I would rather die on that treadmill. But I'll never jump off. So that is what I'm just saying to Mr. City and Mr. Jeremiah Omoto and these people that are still trying to justify the statement that Jeremiah Omoto gave. There's no justification that can come out of this. But I'll leave this as an open check to you people to also tell me if we made a mistake in our analysis, if we were not right in our analysis based on what Mr. Omoto Fofeng said on the 26th of March. So you tell me if we misinterpreted what Omoto Fofeng said, or if we are in error in presentation of what Mr. Omoto said about the 4 days and about the coming of the missing child. So I'll leave it to you people. Leave your remarks, your insights in the comment section, and I'll check you again on the next episode of the Enlightenment series. And in the meantime, I'll be learning, I'll be educating myself. I'll be trying by all means to learn English. Because this brother said my grammar is offside. So I really need to learn English as much as I can. And you people help me also, so that I can become good in English, so that my communication skills can be better. So till I meet you again on the next episode of the Light of Mystery, this is Mr. Pull the Trigger. I'm out.